Hi, I'm Patricia Rozema, and thank you for coming to my film, I've Heard the Mermaids Singing, at the Forest City Film Festival. I'm really honored that you chose to show my firstborn. And I'm sorry that I couldn't be there because I was nominated for the Best Directing Award for the Directors Guild of Canada, and that's a nice honor for me. So I hope you enjoyed the film, and I will kind of try to imagine what your questions were. Thank you to the Forest City Film Festival for giving me this honor and highlighting my work like this. I just never ceases to amaze me that anyone's interested, but thank you. The origin story of I've Heard the Mermaids Singing was that I had made a short which was about a kind of a successful career woman trying to juggle her life and her love and then her work. And I sort of thought, okay, successful career woman, I want to do an unsuccessful career woman. That made me laugh. And I just came up with this idea of Polly, and that was the first title of it was Polly, and I felt so much affection for this person. She was just someone who lived under everybody's radar, just had so little affirmation in her life, and she was like a temporary secretary, and I was just sort of, I knew how she dressed right away. I just felt that I almost felt like that I needed to make the film for her because I loved her. I just loved that character so much. And then I just looked around for money. I think I came from an entrepreneurial family, so I knew what it was to just do one brick at a time. Just think, okay, where do I start? I need money. There's lots of money in the world. Where will I get mine? And sort of figured it out. Adam McGowan had made a film. I called him up and he told me some, and I met some people, and I just had coffees and got more and more names. I wrote the script out on foolscap, and there was just new money in this country. Our country had been completely focused on documentaries for a long time, and we shifted at that moment, and I was just lucky. I was as Malcolm Gladwell would say, the outlier of the time, and I happened to be in with my crazy story. It's not crazy, but my film. And I got some money, $275,000, which is sort of laughable, but didn't pay myself, paid everyone else a pittance. I was the location scout on my bicycle. I did sound, whatever. And another friend who had no experience in filmmaking also came along and helped on the organizational level, and found Sheila, which is gold. Sheila is amazing, and she just had the seriousness but the sense of comedy. She was so mesmerizing to look at but unconventional. So I always just thought, as soon as she came in, I thought, wow, she's like a bird who's just hatched, and that was so fitting with the character. I've always liked the characters who are not society's hero or favorite, and I knew that I wanted to have a gay element in it, a queer element. It wouldn't have been called queer at the time, but I had to kind of hide that. I had to put sugar on the pill, because just 1987. That wasn't what people were doing. A lot of the people that helped me went on to become real major, artists in their own right, as cinematographer and designers and everything. And then I just saw a application form for something called the Cannes Film Festival, and I thought, no one needs to know. And then I just sort of filled it out and sent it off, and there, lo and behold, I'm in, and kind of emerged to show it at the center of film festivals, and the biggest film festival in the world. And it was I could hear them laughing. There was the English speakers laugh first, and then the French speaker who would be reading the subtitles, then their laugh would come. I thought, wow, they're really getting, and they were quiet at the right moments, and I was just starting to feel like this is working. It's like several thousand people in this theater, and I came out, and then it was a standing ovation and applause for 10 minutes. And I thought, well, that went well. I should do this more often. And then, hounded right away for distributors, and then there was a bidding war for all the distributors, and we didn't even have a sales agent. We had nobody to represent us. It was me and Alex Raffay, who was co-producing with me, and we just sort of stumbled our way through, sold it to 40 countries, and it still seems to have a life. It was really moving to have a film be responded to that profoundly and that universally. Because I thought I was more alone in the world. And to find out that so many other people could laugh and cry in the same way was somehow made me feel more connected to my species. Everywhere I go since I've started, I'm asked, what is it like to be a female filmmaker? And I've always felt like, well, I've never been a male filmmaker, so I can't really compare. And I feel like I was an outsider on so many levels that was just another one of the other oddnesses about me. So being a woman, but it's funny, there might have been some kind of a self-denial going on, because I can remember I had this list of my 10 top filmmakers when I was just starting out, and there was not a woman on that list, and it never crossed my mind that was unusual. I suddenly realized how few women there were in the world of filmmaking. And I think I was always fairly instinctive about my choices of having a female lead all the time. Being a female, also being in Canada, I think helped me. I think Canada is a more progressive nation. We've had major artists in our literary fiction who are women. I think the idea of a female artist is not as foreign here as it is in many other countries. We're open to a greater diversity earlier on.